गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्टसखी महाप्रभु मायापुर चंद्र की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र की भक्तवत्सल भगवान श्री श्रीमद प्रहलाद महाराज की गुरु कृष्ण पूजा की श्रील प्रभुपाद की निताई गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे all credits to the assembled devotees, all credits to the assembled devotees, all credits to Guru and God and Srila Prabhupada ki.
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Sodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivājakacharya Astu Rasatasi Srimad is Divine Grace of Hari Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Skan Bibi the founder charges Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivājakacharya Astu Rasatasi Srimad is Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Gauri Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shami Kund Radha Kungiri Govardhana Ki Jai. Sri Vrindam Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Sri Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Purushottam Chaja Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Sri Panchatattva Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gauravimanande Hari Hari Ho. All glories to the sum of the devotees. All glories to the sum of the devotees. All glories to the sum of the devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Nama Om Vishnu Vidaya Krishna Padasthaya Budale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Bacharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pastatari Shatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Vilitam Dena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shvabadantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Badakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupang Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dīna-bando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalvatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ugam Gurudi Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yadkipadam Bande Sigunum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Nice to see all of you here. I have to say, first of all, that I haven't been to Mayapur for, it's been a good number of years. Less than 10. But I can say that since the last time I came, the temple has transformed into a wonderful paradise. And I was just appreciating the last few days since I've been here. I was originally in Puri. We went for a Jagannath Rath Yatra festival for a few days, and then we came here to Mayapur. And honestly, I will say that the quality of people that come here to Mayapur is of a different experience than you might find in Puri. That's just a personal observation. I know it's Jagannath Swami, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but the passion that you might find there is different than the devotion that you experience here in Mayapur. That's just a personal experience. And I was appreciating the people as they're coming in, just waves of people. It's like an ocean, just the ocean coming in and out. And you can see it in their faces, that they so much appreciate the experience that they're having when they come here to Mayapur. It's of a whole different experience. And then when you hear the kirtan, the devotees are chanting so beautifully, and the excitement and the participation. I was appreciating the Prabhus who were in white. They dance so uniformly. They're choreographed in a very nice way. It's very attractive, and I just wanted to express that I'm very grateful that you Prabhus are here, that you're doing such a nice service to Lord Chaitanya's movement, and I think you're fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's desire very nicely. Prabhupada wanted that there be, that Krishna consciousness be a facility for all sorts of people. Wherever you're from, Kirata, Huninda, Pulinda, Pulkusha, there's so many kinds of people. We all have that experience. Shujante tasmai prabhavishnave nama. But by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, it's a transformation. They're of a whole different experience. When they come in, it's like Disneyland. I don't know, you probably haven't been to Disneyland. I don't blame you, there's nothing there. But it is, for the materialists, it's a whole different experience. I'm from California. So people from all over the world, actually, they come there. They're thinking they're going to have some wonderful experience. And they advertise the happiest place on earth. What a joke. It's a farce. They come there, they in 5 minutes, they're disappointed. Literally. They have to pay so much to get in, and when they get in, the entertainment is laughable. There's no prasadam. They have nothing to eat except some unmentionable things, and the whole experience really is a disappointment. But when you come here to the ISKCON temples around the world, it's of a whole different experience. And if you get to travel, you can see that. You can see that firsthand. Whether you go to Mayapur or Puri, or you go to London, or you go to the US, or even Russia. There's so many wonderful, wonderful things going on that people very much have a different experience. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, and I appreciate all of the wonderful things that you're doing. So today I think we're reading from text number 36, I was told. Is that right? This is from the third canto, chapter 7, entitled Further Inquiries by Vidura. Anuvratānāṁ śiṣyāṇāṁ anuvratānāṁ śiṣyāṇāṁ putrāṇāṁ ca dvijottama putrāṇāṁ ca dvijottama anāpṛṣṭam api brūyur anāpṛṣṭam api brūyur guravo dīna-vatsalāḥ anuvratānāṁ śiṣyāṇām putrāṇāṁ ca dvijottama anāpṛṣṭam api brūyur guravo dīna-vatsalāḥ. Ladies? Anuvratānāṁ, the followers, śiṣyāṇāṁ, of the disciples, putrāṇāṁ, of the saints, of the sons, of the sons, ca, also, dvija-uttama, O best amongst the brāhmaṇas, anāpṛṣṭam, that which is not asked for, api, in spite of, brūyuḥ, please describe, guravaḥ, the spiritual masters, dīna-vatsalāḥ, who are kind to the needy, Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O best among the brāhmaṇas, those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. They are always kind to their followers, disciples, and sons. And without being asked by them, the spiritual master describes all that is knowledge. Purport. There are many subjects to be known from the bona fide spiritual master. The followers, disciples, and sons are all on the same, are all on one level for the bona fide spiritual master. And he is always kind to them and always speaks to them on transcendental subjects, even though he is not asked by them. That is the nature of the bona fide spiritual master. Vidura appealed to Maitreya Muni to speak on subjects about which he might not have asked. So, there's a very nice instruction given in the Bhagavatam. Idam Bhagavatam nāna purāna brahma samitam uttama shloka charitam chakara bhagavan rashi nishreyasaya lokasya dhanyan sastayanam mahat. This Bhagavat, first of all, we should understand that there are two kinds of Bhagavats, right? There's the book Bhagavat, which we have the privilege of hearing from today. And there's also the person Bhagavat, which Prabhupada is indicating in this purport. And this shloka from the Bhagavatam points out that the Vedic literatures are meant for the good of all people. Just as here Srila Prabhupada points out that the spiritual master is working on behalf of all the people. There's no distinction. As we mentioned earlier, Kirata Huninda Pulinda Pulkasha Ambir Shamba Javana Kashadaya. That there's no prerequisite for someone to get the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Or for that matter, the Vedic literatures. Someone may not be qualified at all, but a devotee so kindly approaches them and gives them a Bhagavatam or a Bhagavad Gita, and they immediately something transforms in their life. Even they're not looking for it or making any inquiry about it. Just like now, I think we're in the rainy season, and no one is asking for the clouds to come. But they come. And when they come, they pour water on the sidewalk, and they pour water on the plants. There's no distinction. So the Vedic literatures, the Srimad Bhagavatam, they're there to help all of those who are suffering within this material world. And its recitation is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. It's just like when we have good association, when the bona fide representatives of Krishna are there. In this case, Srila Prabhupada is pointing out the spiritual master. When that spiritual master is there and he's of good character, because there are so many different types of spiritual masters, right? Many different types. There's many gurus, and there are many people who are looking for a quick fix. So in that case, they get some kind of cheater who gives them a quick fix. At least in the West, we have experience of persons coming and they say some nice flowery language, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Veda-varata Parta. They may speak in a very flowery way, very attractive way. And then they give some promise. If you do like this, you'll see some light. Or they try and touch them and give them some kind of shock treatment. Or your citadel will be revealed. Or you can become a lover, even. So, this kind of cheating is there. There was one, you may know, there was one person who was very popular in the West for some years, and his name was Guru Maharaji. And he was a young fella, just a young man, and he would advertise himself as a divine personality, that if you listen to him or if he touches you, you'll find some divine inspiration, that he was an avatar. And in essence, he was presenting himself as Krishna, and he would even dress like that. He would have a mukut and he would have some garland. It was very, it was amusing. And this went on for some time until he had an argument with his mother. And his mother declared one day that you are no longer divine, you are no longer Krishna. It was an official declaration. So now he lives in some place with a wife, and he has just an ordinary life and family. But that kind of cheating, as far as we're concerned, tad-vijñānārtam sagurum eva bigatschit samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. As far as we're concerned, our interest is to learn from those who understand transcendental knowledge, who understand that that the Vedic conclusion is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They're expert in understanding that conclusion, and not this just a temporary show. Therefore, in the Vedic literatures is described that charyamam vijaniyam navamanyeta karhit chit, that the spiritual master Sarvadeva Mayo Guru, he should never be seen as an ordinary person. He should never be criticized. One should never envy him, because such personalities, they're the sum total of the demigods. Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. Their qualities are the sum total of the devas. Because they're representing the personality of Godhead, they have that qualification, as Prabhupada points out here in this verse so very nicely. That that is the nature of the bona fide spiritual master. That he's his qualities, yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana. Throughout the Vedic literatures, there's so many instructions that one should accept and recognize the spiritual master as a special personality, someone who is being empowered by the Supreme Lord to distribute Krishna consciousness and represent the Lord. And in the verse, again, the spiritual master should be seen as myself. And the principle, the main principle, is that one should be giving instruction. That's the main principle. Right? We understand that from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where it's described, Kiba Vipra Kibanyasi Sudra Kenanai, Ye Krishna Tattva Vete Se Guru Hai. That the instruction is that whatever your situation may be, your social position, these things are all secondary. The main instruction is that are you sharing, are you instructing Vedic knowledge, transcendental knowledge. That is the main principle. Yare deki tare kaha Krishna upadesh. Right? That whoever you meet, you speak to them and explain to them the orders of Krishna as given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Just as again here in this verse, the Srila Prabhupada points out that there are many subjects that are explained by the spiritual master, some without our asking, or we may not even know how to ask or what to ask. But the spiritual master is so empowered and so merciful that whether you're asking or not, whether you know how to ask or not, the spiritual master is giving that knowledge. And that knowledge is according to official sources, scripture. As Srila Prabhupada was saying very nicely yesterday, yak shastrim vidim ustrija vartate kamakarata, that the spiritual master is not there just to satisfy our foolish tendencies, but he's giving instruction according to Shastra. And according to that Shastra, nasa siddham apnoti na sukham na param gatim. According to that Shastra, there will be perfection, happiness of course, na sukham, na param, their destination, the perfection. Everything is achieved in the proper way. It's just like when you're doing construction, just like here in Mayapur, you can see so much construction going on. There has to be a formula. There has to be a formula. If you don't know how to put the header in the right place, in the right fashion over a doorway, which is meant to spread the weight, the load that's above it, if you don't put it on correctly, it'll collapse. It's very simple. It's mathematical. If you don't set the headers or the joists and you don't connect them in the right way, as soon as there's some pressure, some outside source, it'll collapse. Or if you don't have the right formula when you're mixing the cement, right? There has to be a certain mixture of cement, water, mastic, stone, and sand. If you don't have the right mixture, just a little bit of rain, it'll dissolve. And it's useless. In Los Angeles, where I'm from, we recently had to retrofit the buildings. And retrofitting means that we had to secure the buildings from earthquakes, because we have a lot of earthquakes. You have floods, but we have earthquakes. So the state mandated that you have to retrofit your buildings so that they can withstand the turbulence, the movement of the ground, so that the buildings don't collapse. And you've all seen videos of places, whether it be in Japan or this place or that place, they have an earthquake and everything just crumbles. I went to Nepal some years back when they had the big earthquake. Maybe some people remember. I went there afterwards and the buildings were totally destroyed. Totally destroyed. I mean totally destroyed. So we had to retrofit our buildings, and the cost was astronomical. We ended up spending well over 300,000 US just to secure the buildings. So there has to be a formula. So that formula has been given to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada mentioned that yesterday, right? Kali Yuga Yuga Dharma Namara Prachar Tatai Lagi Pitavarna Chaitanya Avatar. The Lord has appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give us the formula for advancing in our spiritual lives, for understanding transcendental knowledge, and to help us out. Vairagya Vijanija Bhakti Yoga Śiṣyāṇāṁ Eka Puruṣak Parana. The Lord, He comes Himself to teach that transcendental knowledge. He comes Himself to teach us the transcendental knowledge, renunciation, and devotion. How to execute that process of devotional life, how to separate yourself from material attachments. Because the material world is a very dangerous place. Very dangerous place. We can't underestimate it. You can practice Krishna consciousness or try to practice spiritual life for years and years and years. But I assure you that Maya never stops. Maya never stops. And just a little bit of inattentiveness in your practice, whether it be chanting, whether it be associating, whether it be servicing the deities or whatever, even your cutting the grass, any inattentiveness on our part, the material energy, Maya Devi, she comes in and she bewilders the conditioned soul. So the Lord has to come Himself to teach us how to execute that process of devotional service. He's so kind. He's just like an ocean of mercy. And in that way, the spiritual master, being His representative, is also just like that. He's an ocean of mercy. And they're very rare personalities, right? Muktanam apisiranam Narayana Parayana. What is the last line? Kotishapi Mahamune. They're very rare. Such personalities are very rare. There's so many teachers, there's so many masters, there's so many cheaters. But to find one who's actually fixed in spiritual life, who's peaceful in his execution. These kinds of personalities, they're very rare, and they're full of wonderful qualities, as we mentioned earlier. Yas yasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana. They're full of all wonderful spiritual qualities. And they are meant to be served. They're meant to be served. And they deserve to be served. And this Lord Rishabhadev, he explains like that, right? Mahat sevam dwar mahuri muktes, tamodwaram yoshita sangi sangam. One should associate and serve such great personalities because it's by their service and association that one can become detached from this material world. That one can become fixed in his spiritual practices. And develop also those same godly qualities. Tatik Shiva Karunika, Surida Sarva Dehinam. They're so kind that they're giving instruction to those who even don't deserve it, or who are not asking for it. Just like the members of the Krishna conscious movement, we go out and we tell people about Krishna, even though they're not asking for it. Again, they don't know what to ask. They may ask, well, where are you from? Or, what's your name? To be honest, I was standing out here and I watched the people who come by, and that's what they ask. Hello. Where are you from? What's your name? What they should be asking, honestly, is why do you practice Krishna consciousness? What is it that you're getting out of this practice? And how can I also practice it? Because I see when I come here, there are so many happy people. I see that there are so many satisfied people who are engaged in just simple work, but they're very happy about it. This is the effect of the process of Krishna consciousness, the process of bhakti, which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has kindly given us. So we're all very fortunate to be here, without a doubt. And all we have to do is follow the basic practices, and there's nothing else that needs to be done. One who engages in the simple practices of devotional service is much greater than any other person. As Prabhupada points out here, O best among the brāhmaṇas. The devotees of the Lord are even beyond that. Satkarmano vipro mantra tantra visharada. We're not interested in just the mantras and tantras. No, those things, they come automatically. In the practice of devotional service, one naturally develops godly qualities. So one can be very expert in mantra and tantra. That's all right. You can understand all the mantras and the Vedic regulations, rules and this and that. But if you don't have this principle or element of bhakti in your service, then what is your qualification? Mantra tantra visha avaishnava guru nasyat vaishnava sapacho guru. But one who can be even of the lowest birth in the material sense, because they're engaged in devotional service, because they have that element of bhakti in their lives, they're qualified. They become qualified even to become a spiritual master. When I was in Puri, we went to Shakshi Gopal, and we tried to enter in the temple, right? And the guard came out, the priests, they came out, big fellow with a big belly, he came out, "Nope, nope, you cannot enter." They were kind enough to take a picture. I took a picture with him. And then they were very friendly, but they have this misconception that as Hare Krishna devotees, you are not qualified, or you need to wait until your next life, and then maybe you'll have the status to come and see. It's okay, we're not interested, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here, and this is in my heart anyway, this is even greater. Or if you go to the Puri temple, again, it's the same thing. It's everyone is restricted, and Prabhupada was so kind that because his disciples were restricted, he didn't enter either. Haridas Thakur did not enter. So we're not interested in these material designations, these material restrictions. We're mainly interested in this. Those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. Karunika, we're kind to give them Krishna consciousness, whether they ask for it or not. They're always kind to the followers, disciples, and souls without being asked by them. Without being asked, we don't care, we'll just give everyone the holy name. We'll go on the street and chant. In the early days when we were chanting, when I first joined Krishna consciousness, we used to go out, and in the high-rise buildings, people would throw water on us. They would throw hot water, or they would throw coffee or other things on the devotees as they were chanting in front. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything because we know that Krishna is satisfied. We know that the spiritual master is satisfied. When he's satisfied, Krishna, of course, is satisfied. So Vidura appreciated or appealed to Maitreya Muni to speak on subjects about which he might not have asked. No, people may not ask, but we'll give it to him anyway. Hare Krishna. We'll end there. Are there any questions or comments, additions, corrections? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for your class. I was thinking about practical application, what was meant in this verse, that the spiritual master is giving something which is not asked for. So there may be situation when people are not willing to listen, or what is the application of this principle? Because we have to be merciful, and at the same time there is maybe some borders, or how far we can go.
There may be some what?
Some borders.
Borders.
Yeah. in the way of how many people, how much people can take from us.
That comes by experience. That comes by experience. Anyone who goes out and preaches has that experience. Oh, I can see this person, he can only take so much. So I give them so much. Just as Prabhupada, he set the example that in the beginning, he just said, oh, just chant. Just chant. And there were people who were smoking and this and that. And then afterwards he and gave them prasadam to purify them more. Oh, okay, well, then just chant as much as you can and then take prasadam. And then gradually Prabhupada, you can say, tighten the screws. You have to tighten the screws more and more and more and more, until finally there's regulative principles, there's rising early, there's regulated devotional service, adosha data sarusangata bhajana kriya. The sadhu has to learn how to present Krishna consciousness so that they become encouraged to engage in bhajan. They get some faith. Oh, this person, he's nice. So it comes by experience. You can't tell them that the world is full of hog, dogs, camels, and asses. You can't say that. Of course, we understand it is, but you can't say that. You can't say. So it takes experience and a practice. And everyone, you just speak according to your realization. You don't have to create anything, just according to your realization. And it'll come from the heart. I remember I was talking to one devotee, some may know, his name is Achyutananda, who used to be Achyutananda Swami, who was here in India for many, many years. Well, he moved back to the States. And one time I asked him, Maharaj, you're playing mridanga, how can you play so well? Or how do I learn? And he said, just play from your heart. So that's the point. You speak according to your realization from your heart. And that honesty will penetrate. That purity will penetrate. We don't have to create anything. We don't have to adjust or become more than our spiritual master. Is that right?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Any more questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for your wonderful class.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, like sometimes while presenting Krishna consciousness, there is the fear of getting insulted, or they may not accept, what I'm trying to say. That the fear is there.
Yeah.
If I'm insulted, so how to remove that fear and present it boldly?
Well, again, that takes development of your faith in Krishna consciousness. When you have faith that what you're saying is honest and correct, that those doubts will disappear. Those doubts will disappear. It's just like, again, playing the drum. When you know those beats, there's no question. You don't have any doubts when to play and how to play it, how fast to go, how slow to go. So when through your regulated practice, that faith and confidence, it develops. So that when you say something to someone, you're feeling it as well. It comes by realization. You can't just, like a parrot, say all kinds of stuff. Oh, I can quote so many shlokas. It doesn't mean anything. If you don't have any realization behind those shlokas, then they don't mean anything. They're just a bunch of verses. And so that confidence comes by your practice. When you practice sincerely, Krishna in the heart gives you that strength. Right? He supplies for whatever you lack. He provides whatever you need. Right? Krishna gives you whatever you need to execute. So, but you have to have faith that Krishna is there and He's going to do that. And that comes again by your practice. It doesn't come by any other exercise. It's not just a mechanical thing. Srila Prabhupada explains that advancement in Krishna consciousness is a personal realization. It's just like when you eat something, no one can tell you when you're full or when you're satisfied, but you can experience it. So Krishna consciousness is like that. When you're executing properly, you'll feel it. It's a personal thing. It's different for everyone. Because it's between you and Krishna. Krishna is there in the heart, Ishvarak sarvabhūtānāṁ, right? He's in the heart, and He's overseeing everything you're doing. Paramatmeti chapyukto dehismin purushak para. He's in the heart, He's overseeing what you're doing, and He's permitting. He's giving you the ability to execute. But that depends on you. It all depends on your execution. And then you'll feel confident. Oh yes, what I'm saying is true. I can tell my parents, I can tell my friends that Krishna consciousness is the answer. That's been my experience. Any other questions? We have 30 seconds. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Accept mine, glories to Prabhupada.
According to the sloka, it's explained, spiritual master revealed himself without even being asked by disciples.
Yeah.
At the same way, we can listen from Bhagavad Gita. There is explained, tadvidi pranipatina pariprasnena sevaya. And we have to be humble enough, and we have to do service. Then spiritual master Gyanina Tattva Darsana. So how can we relate two things, One here, not being asked even, and there we have to do service, we have to be humble, then spiritual master revealed transcendental knowledge.
It goes hand in hand. The devotional service, your submitting yourself is proof to the spiritual master and to the Lord within the heart that you're sincere. Otherwise, it's just a lot of words. Oh, it's just like a husband and wife. The husband says, oh, my dear, this and that. I love you, but I'm not going to do anything for you. What is that? That's the material world. But if you actually have a love and you actually have a connection to the spiritual master, you'll want to do something to exhibit that. And in reciprocation, the spiritual master gives you his mercy. So we have to show to Krishna, we have to prove to him that we love him, that we want to engage in his devotional service, that we want to, you can say, deserve his mercy. So otherwise it's just a lot of word talking. It's just a lot of conversation, and there's nothing there. So when Krishna or the spiritual masters see that the disciple is sincere, then they give their mercy, and that mercy encourages you. And when the spiritual master gives you the instruction, with that he's so merciful that with the instruction comes the empowerment to fulfill that instruction. The spiritual master is so kind, Krishna is so kind that they don't just tell you, Prabhu, I want you to do this, with no understanding. No. The spiritual master opens your eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. So he gives you the understanding that comes with that instruction. So and the ability to fulfill that order. So it's a loving connection. When you're this is the relationship between Krishna and the jiva. It's a loving connection. So he gives whatever you need, and then he sometimes gives you more. That makes sense? Okay? We'll end there. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.